the only way one can get rich overnight is if you sort of like win a lottery or inheritance. Maybe you are from really wealthy parents and then they just will their properties to you. So yes, however, there are tips that you can use to live a more comfortable life, just to be more comfortable financially as a new immigrant in Canada or wherever you are. Hi guys, welcome to Layo's Tribe. And yes, in the topic I said how to get rich in Canada, but these are just tips and tricks that would position you for success. Or if you want to be set up for success financially, what's the very first thing you should do as a new immigrant? Because of reality back home and where we are from, a lot of us tend to shy away from debt. And as new immigrants, be it students or a permanent resident, you first need to realize that we have the good and the bad debt, and try as much as possible to make use of the good debt to our advantage. And that brings me to the first thing, which is the credit card. Yes, you really need to get the credit card if financial stability is important or key to you in Canada. However, when you get this credit card, let's just ensure that we also know how best to use it to build our credit score. Ensuring that we are paying back our credit card debt before the due date, and not maxing it out. We can try to keep our spending to 30% or even lower. In as much as I'm encouraging new immigrants to make use of the credit card, we also need to be financially literate. What do I mean by that? Let me give you an example. So I really don't have any money in my account. I don't have any money, but I have a credit card that I'm able to pay for anything, right? Even though I don't have the money. So one needs to be very prudent. One needs to be wise and take good financial decisions. The fact that you have the credit card does not mean you should keep buying things you can't afford. So before even using your credit card, make sure you're not spending money you don't have. Let's ensure that we are able to pay back this debt as at the due date, because what happens when we don't pay back is that nobody would arrest you for not paying it back, but the implication is that you start to pay interest on that, and that is really not where you want to be financially. So let's only spend the money that we have, even on the credit card. Also, in Canada here, we need to be very careful. Everyone is trying to give you credit card at the same time. You walk into Walmart, they are offering you credit card. Gas stations, they are trying to give you credit card, because everybody just has like a deal and they want you to get this credit card. We need to be very careful. As new immigrants, you don't want to start acquiring all of these things, because for someone that is not financially sound, it is very easy to go overboard with all this credit card. It's easy to just keep tapping without realizing that you've actually gone over budget for the month. So let's just stick to, yes, in as much as I would encourage that we get a credit card, maybe for starters we should just get one with whatever bank we are using. And as our income increases, or we are able to manage our finances better, maybe we can take up more credit cards that we are being offered. So yes, get a credit card, pay it back before the due date, and don't use it on unnecessary things. In addition, in order to be able to live a comfortable life and have like money, be comfortable, so to say, in Canada, we also need to build our credit score. I already sort of touched on that when I spoke about the credit card. And as new immigrants, that is still like the very first way we can build our credit score. Why do we need to build a credit score? If we are trying to finance anything, maybe get a car, we are trying to get mortgage, like a credit check would be done and the score would be checked. So it's your credit score that would determine if you are able to get some things. That's why I try to encourage new immigrants to get a credit card and gradually build the credit score, because it's easier to build with a credit card. We all know that it's a credit-based system here, and as your income increases, you'd be surprised the things you are able to finance. even aside your car, the mortgage, the furniture in the house, right? Even clothes to buy, like to shop for clothes and all of those things, you'd be surprised that you are able to finance a lot of things. And for those that are not very prudent or wise financially, they just like keep financing and acquiring all of these debts. So yes, let's try to build a very good credit score that would really come in handy when we need to finance things or when we need to acquire good debts. And in addition to building like our credit score, whatever it is that we are able to pay with our credit card, let's make use of our credit card as against paying cash, because for some of these cards we also get cash back. It might be little, but when it compounds it amounts to something. So yes, use your credit card as against paying cash all the time. Next thing I have on my list is also the importance of emergency fund. If you are trying to like be comfortable, you want to position yourself for success financially, it's very important to have like an emergency fund set up. And what would determine the amount you have in that emergency fund is probably your situation or your family size. However, you don't necessarily need to have like 10-20k in your emergency fund just sitting there and not appreciating, and you'd be getting very little interest every month from your bank. So yes, have an emergency fund, but also ensure that you keep it like reasonable. Maybe if you're able to set aside, let's say 5k or something, depending on your family size and your situation. But if you have that chunk of money, maybe now is the time to think of ways to invest and let the money work for you when you're sleeping, as against just putting all your savings, everything you have in your emergency fund. Emergency fund is important. Yes, we need to have that so that we don't go taking loans that have really high interest when we need to pay for something urgently or when something impromptu happens. Because we are trying to prevent having bad debts or loans that would drown us because of the interest rate, we absolutely need to set something aside in case something comes up that is unplanned. Also, in order for you to be financially comfortable in Canada, you need to budget your spending. What do I mean by budget your spending? You can have like an Excel sheet where you track your income and all your expenses for the month. So your rent, your utilities. The good thing about this place is that you are able to like have an idea of some of these things, because even when they change monthly, like your bills, your utility, depending on what time of the year it is, you are able to like have an idea. So maybe you want to like track everything monthly and just outline all of your expenses and your income, so you are able to like tell what is left and how you are spending money and what is taking the bulk of your money. Also, when you have a budget, it's easier for someone like me to like stick to it. Oh, this is what I want to use on this is what I want to spend on Uber for this month. And once I realize that I've gotten to my limit, I won't stretch the budget. I'll just probably use the bus for wherever I want to go, because yeah, I've used up all the money that I set aside for that. Also, in tracking your budget too, for people that like to buy things, they shop a lot, when you have like an amount that has been designated for that purpose, you just try to, it's not enough that you are just allocating amounts to these things. One needs discipline to be able to stick to the budget and say that, oh, I want to spend just $200 this month on shopping and I won't exceed that. So it is really important to be financially comfortable here, to have a budget and stick to that budget. To be comfortable, you need to understand how taxation works and how you can save on tax. What do I mean by that? This is not me saying that you should evade tax in any way, but by reading and researching on taxation, you would understand how it works. You would know ways in which you can like save on tax. For example, if on your dental personally, you spent like over 1,000 card out of pocket on dental, understanding taxation will make you know that, oh, when I'm filing my tax, I should include this because I'm able to get some tax credit. So there are some expenses that we do out of pocket, but when we don't understand how taxation works, we don't use it to our advantage when filing tax. Another thing, still under understanding how taxation works, is I would link that to my next point, which is investing. So the government has like quite a number of accounts that allows us to save money, not just tax free, but for some of them we are able to like defer the tax till we retire, like the RRSP account. So when we understand how taxation works and we know that, oh, this is the tax bracket I am at this point, but when I retire, would I be earning more than what I'm earning now, or I'll be earning less? It will enable us make decisions as to, do I want to be maxing out my retirement account, or do I want to just stick to other accounts that like the TFSA, other accounts that I would have already paid the tax on now, as against defining it, because income when I retire will probably be higher than what I'm earning now. Let's not forget that it's not everyone that wants to retire as low income earners. So understanding taxation will just help position us better in terms of, how do I shelter my investments, how do I protect myself, how do I ensure that I'm not paying more than I should on tax. So those two things are sort of interwoven, understanding taxation and also investing. So when we want to invest, I know that for a lot of people, even myself inclusive, we are confused about what to buy or what to invest in, the kind of stocks to buy. So let's not forget that for some of these investment accounts, they are being, for example, if you want to open like a tax-free savings account and be putting money there, but you don't know what stock to buy or what to invest in, you can have like a managed TFSA account. That way, your bank or whatever financial institution you open the TFSA with would be the ones like managing your investments. They are the ones buying stocks, buying ETFs, buying whatever with it. So yours is just to be putting the money. That way, even though they take a stipend for managing it, you're set up for success, because they would invest based on your risk appetite and based on the number of years you want to have the account. So just at times we might need to like step out of our comfort zone and research on all of these things to be able to position ourselves for success. And you'd be surprised, because two different people might have different reality. For some people, when they retire, they are okay to be low income earners, but some people are already putting investments in place to ensure that by the time they retire, they are earning more. So they should know how to not pay more than necessary. Based on these points, riches and success, like I said earlier, it's not an overnight thing. If we are not like winning a lottery or something like that, however, there are tips, there are things we can use to, there are tips that we can use to ensure that we are able to live a very decent and comfortable life and able to afford the basic necessary things. Also position ourselves to be able to live a decent life when we retire, so we are not forced to go back to the labor market when we retire. In addition to all of this that I've said, as someone trying to get ahead financially, depending on whatever income you're earning, maybe you want an additional source of income. I understand that multitasking is a bit difficult for a number of people, and it's not everyone that is business minded. Some people just don't know how business works. But if you are the type that you have any skill set that you can put to use, be it I know some people that do like social media content creators, and or even people that are able to make use of their hands to do different things, to make hair, to do different skills. I'll do a separate video where I would talk about different skills you need prior to relocating, just so you are well positioned for success. But if there is anything you feel you have, any skill or anything you have that you feel you are able to monetize I'm not saying some people have multiple jobs, and to those that are able to do that, good for them. But if you have any skill you can monetize in your own little way, just to be able to earn additional something on the side, because of the kind of life you probably want to live. Some people are able to like cook on weekends, make pastries and bake and different things like that, and you'd be surprised that some are even making more money than the people in the corporate world. So if your plan is also to like live a very comfortable life in Canada, some people earn so well that they feel they don't need this additional source of income, but I don't think there is ever too much money. So you might want to just think of ways to make extra money. And some, they just proofread. Some people proofread. It's just something passive that might not really require you to be physically present, something you can do at the comfort of your home, something that wouldn't take much of your time, but at the end of the month you're getting something extra. It would really come in handy. So thank you very much for sticking to Layo's Tribe. Try to make use of some of these tips if you think they are relevant and they work for you. These are just tips based on my own personal experience of ways I feel that immigrants might be able to be more financially comfortable or start to gradually build wealth in their own little way. Please don't forget to share and subscribe to Layo's Tribe, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye for now.